Good morning and welcome to another ramble, guys. Sailing Pole 1 area expansion quests and hybrid training method. This is going to be a fucking juicer. This is actually a massive blog, as you guys see. Look at this. This is so much. I'm really excited about this. And listen, I want to just state this from the get-go, and that is that I am excited for sailing personally. The things I'm excited about sailing, though, have nothing really to do with sailing, and I feel like that is a lot of people. Let me know in the live chat. By the way, this is live on Twitch and YouTube. Check me out live. Usually live, can we even say most days? Probably most days. I don't know, half days. But I'm excited about sailing. A lot of the reason I'm excited about it is because of new monsters, new islands, new training methods, new items coming into the game. It has really not much to do with actually being on the water and training sailing, which is really sad. But that's just how I personally feel. So I am looking obviously forward to all this, and there's going to be a lot to cover. Also, pinned in the comments and in the description, this is found on Spotify, the whole video episode, ad-free completely. We're trying to grow the audience over there, so if you guys want to help support, go over to Spotify and you will enjoy it over there. It's a really clean experience, honestly, especially if you like listening to these at work or while you're on the road or whatever. It's just way more convenient on Spotify, so check it out. All right, let's get into this, everybody. Have your say on new areas, quests, and stories from the far shores of Gielinor. Ahoy! I should wear my eye patch. I don't have an eye patch. I should get one, though. Beyond this disclaimer lies a treasure trove of concepts we're exploring for sailing. While this poll looks to greenlight them all now, not all of them are guaranteed to be available at launch. These seas can be treacherous. As always, your input helps shape our priorities, so be sure to let us know which concepts you like the look of. Cast your minds back to the first time you stepped foot in Gielinor, arriving at the threshold of Lumbridge Castle with no idea of the amazing adventures awaiting you. Yeah, I was 9 years old. That was crazy. How old were you guys? The world of Gielinor was your oyster, and that's the feeling we hope to recapture in sailing. In today's blog, you'll learn about what? I thought, are we trying to recapture this? If we're trying to recapture it, why are we sharing everything about it before we get to do it? Whatever. This is a game community driven, so I guess that's the reason. In today's blog, you'll learn about brand new areas, quests, and even a new training method. To preserve the magic of discovery, we won't be sharing too many details about the islands you get to explore, just enough to spark your sense of adventure. Okay. Exploration is a key part of the sailing reward space. As you master the stormy seas of Gielinor, you'll be able to travel anywhere and everywhere, discovering new bosses, resources, slayer creatures, training methods, and more. More dangerous locales will be home to more powerful rewards, or not, depending on your feedback. It's incredibly important to us that you have the opportunity to shape this content. So in the months ahead, you can look forward to at least 3 polls where you'll have the chance to have your say on sailing. All right, let's check it out. Poll 1, quests, area expansions, and deep sea trawling. You're here. Poll 2, skilling content and resources. And poll 3, creatures and unique rewards. So those are surely coming in the next few months, I'm guessing, or maybe in the next few weeks. We'll see. The graphic below shows our current polling timeline, although it is subject to change. So the poll 1, we are on poll 1 currently. Area quests and activities. The Great Conch Island, Turtugan quests, small-scale sailing-related quests, and deep-sea trawling activity. Oh my god, we all love trawler, guys, don't we? We love that. I guess we'll show this off as well. So for the poll 2, we're going to be seeing skilling content and resources, new trees and logs, new rocks and ores, new method and fish, new hunter methods, new farming patch and produce, another herb patch, thieving, construction, smithing, crafting, new ranged weaponry, new meats and food, new ingredients and potions. Listen, guys, Jagex, if you're listening to this, we need more bank space, okay? You're going to drop us all this new shit. We need more bank space. Can we just fucking double it? We just double it already. Like, holy. We need more bank space. Poll 3 topics. Combat content and rewards. So this is going to be for the poll 3. New tasks and creatures, new bosses, new unique drops, pet and skill cape, and any extra meta impacting content. Very nice. We plan to use the poll system to greenlight concepts much earlier, so we can create a solid slate of exciting content for you all to look forward to. The downside is that giving ourselves more time to plan means we might not always be able to tell when the feature you've voted for is coming to the game. That's why the big disclaimer up top says that some of the content in today's blog might launch after sailing releases. We're prioritizing features based on your feedback, development time, and the scope of each project, but we've already put in the work to ensure that sailing feels fulfilling on launch. Anything that comes later is just another adventure to look forward to, whether that's 3 months, 6 months, or even longer after launch. Our player-designed island competition is definitely still planned to begin after sailing releases, though. Once you have the opportunity to sail around Gillenor yourselves, you'll be in a much stronger position to bring your best ideas forward. Just get Gentle Tractor on it, you know? Actually, I'm going to be honest. There's actually a lot of brilliant artists out there and brilliant ideators. What do you call a person that ideates? Ideator. I don't know. We're going to see some amazing new islands if they're player designed. That's going to just be brilliant. Yeah. The Great Conch. Ooh, blue crab. Sailors venturing south into the unquiet ocean may discover the Great Conch, an island that's home to the turtle-like folk called the Turtugans. The island will contain a mixture of new content and rewards that will be pulled separately. For now, here's a quick overview of what you might expect. A host of existing woodcutting trees, as well as the new Jatoba and camphor trees that will give expanded uses to fire making and fletching. We have winter Todd. But that's cool. Additional mining, hunter, and fishing spots, plus new blue crab hunting using hinged lid traps, offering new crab meat to use within cooking and herb lore. An extra calquat, okay, that's actually huge. Farming patch can be found here. Also submerged just off the coast, you'll find a coral nursery where you can farm coral, a useful resource for making new items out of. Okay, on top of that, you can expect all of the usual new shops, amenities, creatures, and more. Poll question. Would you like it? Yes, I'm not going to read the poll question, but it's just basically, do you want that? I want it, personally. I like the island shape. It looks cool. In the warm seas south of Menopause, you'll find the Great Conch, home of the Tortugans. Wait, was I supposed to read that? Okay, it's not going to read this. It's not going to have the same text. These beshelled people are currently under threat, but luckily they have an adventurer like you to help them get to the bottom of it. Befriend the brave Tortugan sailor Floop, who watched Spy Kids 1 as a kid on repeat. I did. I was that autistic kid though. Just keep fucking rewinding it in the fucking VHS rewinder. Starts spinning the tape. Just starts breaking the VHS tape. Horrible. That was a great movie though. I always wanted like those little McDonald's meals, you know, to just like put the little thing in the microwave and just blows up a fucking burger and fries in 2 seconds. When are we going to get that in real life? They may reveal a few trade secrets that will help you train your skills. On a related note, we're really pleased with the community response to the map update for Menopause. While we have every intention of opening the gates when the desert storyline progresses, we'd like to clarify that we're not adding Menopause as part of sailing. It's a huge undertaking, similar in scale to Varlamore. We really want to keep it a surprise. For now, you'll find that the Great Conch and all the other sailing islands provide plenty of activities to sink your teeth into. So what is Menopause going to be? Is that like Raids 4 area? Like, surely that's going to be like Raids 4, right? Not Menopause. Woodcutting, firemaking, fletching. On the Great Conch, you'll find similar trees like teaks, mahoganies, and yews, as well as new trees found in the Sacred Grove. Yeah, I don't like that term. And I grew up Mormon. I'm an ex-Mormon now. Got my records removed. The Sacred Grove is what we called in Mormonism, where Joseph Smith claimed to see Jesus and God. So this is just we need to change this terminology. PTSD, boys. PTSD right there. Religious trauma coming back. This is an area of great importance. Why is it called this? To the Tortugans, and they're not letting just any noob in. You'll have to prove yourself and get acquainted with their ways of life first. Only players who take the time to befriend the Tortugans will be rewarded with access. Okay. New trees mean new logs, subject to polling, of course. This will be covered in our next poll blog, along with our plans for how these resources will be used and how they'll impact the wider game. For now, we'll share the Jatoba logs. We'll mostly we'll share that Jatoba logs will mostly be used within the Tortugan quest line, while Camphor logs will have wider impacts on fire making, fletching, and shipbuilding. Ooh, shipbuilding. Mining, hunter, and fishing. Looking to shake up your skilling? The Great Conch will also have mining, fishing, and hunter spots spread across the land. Plus, it's got some great views of the ocean. Very relaxing. We saw how much you liked bank crabs, so we'll do one better. On the Great Conch, we're proposing a new hunter training method, crab hunting. This is a brand new training method that involves catching crabs using hinged lid traps. Once caught, you can use a knife on the creatures to obtain meat for cooking and herb lore. Since all of this is subject to polling, keep an eye out for it on our next poll blog. We'll be taking your feedback and suggestions. Okay, that's going to be cool. I wonder if it's going to be added to Hunter Rumors. Also, on the topic of just adding rocks spread across the land, when are we ever going to rebalance rocks? Hello? Like, nobody ever wants to mine rocks across the world. Nobody ever wants to do that. You want to know why? Because it's fucking pointless, and the respawn rates are devastatingly low, and the success rates are so goddamn poor. It's just so embarrassing. Like, can we stop trying to artificially get excited about new rocks being spread across the land when nobody wants to touch them because it's fucking useless? Why did I just click that? This little blue guy. All right. Farming. Take your farming runs one step further. The Great Conch will have an additional Calquat patch, as well as brand new farming method, coral farming. Coral nurseries are new farming patches where coral fragments can be propagated until they mature. Unlike normal patches, these nurseries are found in the sea. During refinement, we called this a hybrid training method, but since we think it makes sense for it to sit within farming only, since then we think it makes sense for it to sit within farming only, as you're not directly using a boat for this activity. Interesting. Ooh, this looks cool. I kind of like this. Yeah, I like this. Also, speaking of water and flippers, listen, guys, the place underneath the fishing trawler, I'm just going on the random side tangents. The place underneath fishing trawler where you go down there to do that elite clue step, pick up the 5 rocks. First of all, speed up the 5 rock process. The fact that you need to go there, sit a tile, spend 2 ticks picking it up, collecting it, and going to grab the other 4, horrible. And on top of that, the flippers don't work under there. They don't work. What's happening? Why is water different? So fix that as well. But there is a tech, though, when you go under there, log out or hop worlds, and your guy can run in water. It's kind of cool. In addition to its wealth of skilling content, the Great Conch will also feature various shops, amenities, and new creatures. So what do you say? Okay. I mean, that's all cool. Are these what they look like? New Tortugan quest. The Tortugans are a humble folk living close to nature, making their own tools and homes while utilizing both the land and sea in their everyday lives. The Tortugan quests are a set of new quests that takes you on a journey to befriend the Tortugans while helping them deal with various threats and challenges along the way. Okay, so there's an experience quest, Troubled Tortugans. First quest will focus on the player meeting an injured Tortugan called Flupa and introducing the wider Tortugan race and their dangerous enemies, the Griffins. Oh, God. I think in like a ramble a couple of years ago, I called these Gryphons. But like, why are they spelled this way? This is not how you spell Griffin, right? Like, Jesus, man. Gryphons. The Red Reef is another experience quest. The second quest focuses on the player helping Flupa overcome her injury whilst also investigating a potential new threat. So is Flupa gonna be like what's that? Zanuck? Zanis? Zanuck? Am I saying that right? Is that her name? Zanuck? That doesn't sound right. Maybe it is right. Is it gonna be like where this like poor Zanuck. This poor, by the way, holy fuck, I really love these pillars. I'm getting so distracted. Do you guys see this image? This pillar looks awesome. Look at this. It's got like seashells and stuff on it. I really like this. This should be like a RuneScape theme. We should dump that into the actual game. I really like this. Anyway. Is this Flupa chick gonna die later? This is just depressing. I'm already getting depressed knowing she's probably gonna die. But what can you do? Immerse yourself quite literally in a brand new storyline where you'll help the Tortugans combat a mysterious threat. Tortugans have a peaceful society where everyone is expected to contribute using their special skills. So it's a communist society. As a fisherman, a scout, a warrior, a gatherer, or a healer. In the course of the Tortugan quests written by Mods Ed and Elena, you'll earn your own place in Tortugan society and help them fight back against the greatest enemy yet, fear itself. I don't know. We'll see what the mysterious threat is. Troubled Tortugans. In the first quest, you'll meet Flupa, a stranded Tortugan who needs your help to get back to the great Conch. Through her, you'll learn more about Tortugan society and the threat posed by the Griffins. But oversized seagulls are far from the only danger lurking on the high seas. Ooh. Rewards and requirements. This is an experience quest. Okay, Pandemonium, blah, blah, blah. 1,000 or 10,000 Sail on XP, 8,000 Slayer. Okay, cool. So this is just to get access to the Great Conch, I see. The Red Reef requires 45 sailing. This requires 52 sailing. Cool. So I'm assuming just to get to the Conch, you have to do that first quest, and then when you're on the Conch, you do this quest. Cool. Small islands. If you took part in the sailing alpha, you might have noticed several small islands scattered across the ocean, throughout the ocean. I'm losing it, guys. Some of these may have been visited, like the Pandemonium, while others are brand new and waiting to be explored. When you're not on land, it can easily feel like you're being swallowed up by an endless blue tiles if not much content exists around you. In our early playtesting sessions with NDA players, we noticed that without any useful landmarks for navigation, players could easily get lost. Having more small islands instead of fewer large ones doesn't just solve this problem, it helps make the ocean feel more alive. Okay. More islands will also support gradual progression from 1 to 99 sailing. Rather than giving you one massive island at level 30 and then having to wait until level 60 for another one. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. During the sailing alpha, we hadn't yet balanced this content, so those of you who played might have visited islands. Okay, focus, Sae Bae. Holy crap! I'm like reading like chat like kind of a little bit while I'm reading this. Might have visited islands at lower sailing levels than it intended. Be assured that on launch, all islands will have a proper balance pass to ensure their content is level appropriate. The poll is too big. Yeah, it's too big. We're halfway through, boys. Now, I will have some thoughts at the end of this for sure, though, and throughout. Here are a few of the smaller islands we've worked on so far. Okay, so we can't even click these. Click on each. Oh, there we go. The Onyx Crest. Actually, I was going to say something. I was like, let me guess. There's going to be like some clue step right here where you have to, like, you park right here and you have to run all the way around the island to dig. No, but they would do that, though. Port Roberts, huh? Who's Robert? Buccaneers Haven. Oh, hell yeah. Brittle Island. Cool. I like the islands, guys. I like these. Listen, you know what they really need to do? I hope they do this. I hope they have an element of, they really sprinkle Easter eggs everywhere. I want Easter eggs everywhere. I want easy to solve ones all the way to like super fucking difficult. You need the whole community to take months to solve these little riddles. Messages in a bottle, you know what I mean? I want a bunch of them. I want so many Easter eggs on release. That would be really fun. Especially like Easter eggs where it's almost like a rare thing to get the bottle in the first place. You know what I mean? Like imagine a message in a bottle that has some crazy cool cosmetic reward at the end of the whole treasure trail. But even to get that bottle is like a 1 in 100 from the rare bottles you get. You know what I mean? So not everyone even has the bottle. And then the few people that do have to start now kind of like picking it apart. Like, where do we go? Where do we go here now? You know, that would be so fun. Just give us a bunch of Easter eggs. Even give us like Easter eggs where you just randomly dig somewhere. You search a bush or something, you know, just add stuff like that. I think this is so important. My take. The islands above are just the appetizer. In our next poll blog, we'll share more information on the skilling activities and new resources you can find on these small islands, including new ores, trees, materials, and creatures. Each island will have its own unique feel, from the climate and terrain right up to the creatures that live there and the stories you can find. You'll meet new people and find interesting mysteries. Ooh, and of course, you'll visit some small islands during quests. Small islands will give us a place to add future content, things like PVM challenges, skilling opportunities, and more. That's why we're only pulling the activities and rewards available, not the islands themselves. They're a core part of sailing and a critical part of bringing the ocean to life and opening up sailing reward space. We didn't pull Lumbridge, did we? Yeah. We're also aware of community interest in procedurally generated islands created by an algorithm, much like the rooms of the Gauntlet. We did do some initial investigation into this process during a game jam, but there's still a lot we'd need to do to make sure that procedurally generated islands meet our high standards for the game. This isn't something we're planning to include in Sailing's launch, but we'll keep your interest in mind for other content. I think Jimmy made a good point on this, actually. The procedurally actually, was it him? I think it was him. He was saying like the coolness of just like an actual island that's there that you can explore. Unfortunately, you only get that the sense of exploration one time. But if they're all procedurally generated, things just start feeling like AI glip. Glip. What is that? So maybe it's actually best we don't do that. But I don't know. I'm down to hear other arguments for it. Another thing that's come up in discussion is whether you'll need to set sail every time you want to go to a specific island. As exciting as sailing is, traveling back and forth from A to B constantly could get tedious after a while. We want to clarify that islands with docks will always have an alternative access method, provided you've sailed there by yourself at least once. Sailing isn't just about traversing the seas, so we want to make it convenient to get to where you want to go. That's cool. Rest assured that alternative methods will be on theme. That's nice. Listen. This is a little idea that came to my head. I've brought this up in the past. Something like, do you guys remember when I would talk about the Golden Horseshoe in Brimhaven? Having like a bank deposit box right there that you can build even. They should be doing that with islands. They should have stash unit type like ghost things or like a inconspicuous bush or rock that can be transformed with a high construction level into a bank deposit chest or even a bank chest in general. So I think this, not only could this be amazing for islands, but it could be amazing across the game where you have these cool spots. I mean, look at Prif. Prif, on the outskirts of Prif around there, there's no banks or anything. And it's just like, there's a lot of cool, like little ways you can gather resources, but it's just completely useless. Completely useless. The little like volcano area to the like northwest of Prif outside of it, it's like you climb up this mountain and I think there's like a shooting star up on top. Sometimes that spawns. But there's like a little like area where you can mine. Imagine you could build a little bank chest there with high enough construction and a bunch of materials. I think that would be a really cool idea to bring out with sailing and then expand it across the game. Things like that. Even being able to build like POH portals. You know how there's like the POH portals everywhere? If you get a construction cape, you go to your POH portal list and it has all the ones that are pre-built. What if you could build different ones? They have the hotspot there already, but now there's like, 10 more across the game that you can kind of build with really high construction and a lot of materials, I'd imagine. I don't know, just thoughts. Some islands will have mooring points rather than docks. What are that? Yeah. When it makes sense, some of these islands will have teleports. There'll also be a teleport to boat spell, which will give you a great deal of flexibility when it comes to travel. Okay. The ability to explore the ocean and see what's out there sits at the heart of sailing. As a result, you'll find a whole host of new islands scattered across the many oceans of Gielinor, just waiting to be found. We don't want to spoil the fun of discovering islands for yourself at this stage, so we won't be going into too much detail here, but rest assured that any significant activities or rewards to be introduced with them will still be covered in future blogs and polls. What is that? Why is there a wood chip stuck in this guy's brain? So much to explore. I read that in Nine Rains, like childish voice, the one he does, If you know, you know. For now, to help breathe life into the ocean and its many locations. Is that a narwhal? Oh, it's a narwhal. Okay, you guys all know. I just thought this guy had a fucking toothpick stuck in his brain. We'd like to propose releasing a number of additional small quests set throughout the oceans and islands you'll be finding via sailing. To go with the small islands, we'd like to add smaller, less impactful quests, much like the ones we recently introduced in Varlamore. Many of you experienced Pandemonium in the Sailing Alpha. Its story plays a key role in the first-time user experience of sailing, but doesn't impact the greater story of the game. Consequently, that one won't be pulled. We are, however, making changes based on your feedback from the Sailing Alpha. For example, some of you didn't like receiving XP for completing the quest, which essentially locks you out of sailing altogether. To address this feedback, we're making the XP rewards into lamps in line with other quest rewards. That should be across the game, in my opinion. I'm not even a snowflake, but I do like the idea of all quests giving you either the XP lamps or just a dialogue at the end that says, hey, do you want to have this XP? And you could even have a setting in the menu. So if you're not a snowflake at all, from the get-go, the creation of your account, you just go into settings and be like, just accept all XP, accept it all. And then the ones that do have lamps, obviously you get the lamps. But I think that'd be good for the game. My opinion. As for other smaller quests, you can expect them to be similar to Sheep Shearer or the Twisted Tales in difficulty. They'll help integrate sailing with the rest of the game and will serve as a way to introduce players to tools like the current duck, or the spyglass, rather than just buying them from an NPC. Okay. We'd prefer to keep the exact details secret for now, so that these small but mighty quests will still have some surprises for you. I feel like, is it just me, or does polling quests just feel so pointless? Like, just bring them out. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? If people hate quests, like I don't even feel like the people that hate quests even vote no to quests. They still find it like essential to the game. You know what I mean? Like, this is an integral part to the game. So why are we even pulling this? Just release them. Release the quest. Ocean, seas, and hazardous waters. You may have noticed that we've mentioned oceans a couple of times now. Well, take a look at this. Whoa! We're playing Risk now, boys. I claim this part. I claim the Western Ocean. Damn, this is crazy. I wonder if your boat can go in those games where your boat can go over here, and then all of a sudden when you hit this corner, you are magically over here. I wonder if they're going to do that. You sail your boat all the way over here and you just end up going like this. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of funny. It's not going to happen. So, are you guys flat earthers? Are you guys Gillenorian flat earthers? Be honest with me. Type 1 if you're a flat earther. Type 2 if you still believe we live on a sphere in Gillenor. I don't know, man. Yeah, well, we'll see. If you want a higher resolution, I don't. We've transformed the previously monotonous blue tiles into various different oceans. These large areas are the seaborne equivalent of the regions of the mainland, like Asgarnia, and will mostly exist for similar thematic reasons. Most of them will be available on launch, but some will be added afterwards. At launch, we aim to have the Ardent, Unquiet, Shrouded, Western, and Northern oceans available, as well as part of the Sunset Ocean. To put this into perspective, the Sailing Alpha only includes the Ardent and Unquiet oceans, with playable content capped at level 30. We'll do the maths for you. The playable area that launches with Sailing will be massive, with plenty of room for future expansion. On that note, the Forgotten, Untamed, and Eastern oceans will likely appear as post-launch Sailing updates. We're approaching this rollout thoughtfully, ensuring we learn from previous experiences and avoiding the introduction of large areas with sparse content. You know what I was just thinking? I don't think this would ever happen in the game. However, it could, maybe years down the line, because we are getting an official HD client. But have you guys ever played Minecraft, where you get on your little boat and you're sailing with your little paddles and you see the sun set and the sun rise while you're on your boat? Can you imagine we had sunsets in this game? Oh, that'd be sexy. If we actually had a day system, you know what I mean? And it actually went by GMT time, you know what I mean? That'd be interesting. And nighttime, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Just darken a little bit. It could just be a feature, but who knows? Maybe years down the line we'd get that. That would be awesome, I think. just across the game, a little sun. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Oceans are further subdivided into seas, the equivalent of settlements and landmarks like Canifis or the Karamjan volcano. Each ocean will contain multiple seas, and unlike oceans, seas are closely tied to gameplay with different level bands for the content there. You may have experienced this already if you tried sea charting in the alpha, where you needed certain level requirements to chart certain things at sea. These level bands are not rigid, so your boat won't grind to a halt once you reach a higher leveled ocean. You'll be able to access these seas, but there are various hazards which will make your journey more difficult or even impossible. Oh god. It should never be impossible in my opinion. Port Khazard should be able to travel wherever the fuck he wants at one sailing. The map below shows hazardous waters in more detail. Ooh. Scary, guys. Wilderness. If you play the sailing alpha, you'll have seen one hazard already near Storm Temper. Your boat experiences periodical damage unless it's been suitably upgraded. Ugh, yikes. As funny as it would be to pull seas and oceans, we won't be doing this, as without them, you'd have nothing to sail on. It's true. Deep sea trawling is a new hybrid skilling method combining sailing and fishing, taking place out in the deep seas where you'll catch new rare types of fish. Track down a shoal of fish, optionally with the help of a sonar orb, or just go to the wiki or use the RuneLight plugin that'll come out 2 days after the release. Optionally, spread some special bait made from fish cutoffs stored in a chum bucket facility to increase your fishing duration and catching effectiveness. Navigate over a shoal and deploy your trawling net facility, while keeping your ship aligned with the shoal as it moves. Gather fish in your net to receive both fishing and sailing. Optionally, storing any caught fish in your cargo hold. Once the shoal is depleted, you can move on to finding a new shoal or return to the port with your haul of fish. As you level up and venture into deeper parts of the sea, you'll encounter higher tiers of shoals and introduce more complex gameplay, new hazards to contend with, but also rarer fish. Ooh. Some of the new fish to be introduced includes giant krill, haddock, I don't know how to pronounce that, yellowfin tuna, halibut, bluefin. Oh, why did I read that as bluefin tuna? I need help. Bluefin tuna and marlin. Jesus Christ. It looked like there was a space. I'm sorry, guys. It looked like there was a space right there. The HP restored utility and special effects of these fish will be blogged and pulled separately and is something we're eager to hear your ideas and feedback on. Bluff. Yeah, God. Okay. During refinement, we explored several hybrid training methods, including deep sea trawling, mineral dredging, coral farming, and sea monster hunting. These were all received positively, so we've picked one to flesh out properly before launch. You can expect to see more hybrid training methods in future, but for now, please welcome deep sea trawling. Welcome. This method combines sailing and fishing, allowing you to turn your boat into a useful tool to catch rare, new species of fish that don't exist on the coastline. This activity is group friendly, so you can bring along your friends too. You'll earn both sailing and fishing XP while collecting unique fish that have powerful effects. These might be cooked into powerful tools or foods, or used in herb lore to craft new potions. As this blog exists as more of a green light stage, the effects of any new fish will be pulled in our next sailing pull blog, which covers skilling content and resources. Deep sea trawling isn't intended to replace traditional fishing. Instead, it offers a meaningful alternative. By going deeper into the sea, you can get more interesting fish, and it should be a reasonable moneymaker too. Reasonable moneymaker as in like 250k GP an hour, right? To get started with deep sea trawling, players will equip their ship with a specialized trawling net facility. At least one player, either you or a crewmate, must operate the trawling equipment to catch fish, while the boat follows a moving shoal across the ocean. Staying on top of the shoal and working as a team is key to gathering large hauls of fish. As you level up your sailing and fishing, you'll be able to upgrade your trawling gear and take on more challenging and rewarding shoals. Trawling net. The trawling net is a core facility that unlocks access to deep sea trawling. Without it, you won't be able to gather fish at sea. You won't be able to gather the sea. As you progress, higher tier nets will become available. These advanced nets allow boats to reach deeper sea levels where rarer and more rewarding shoals can be found. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, like we all get this. In addition to accessing deeper waters, upgrading nets will also increase the minimum quantity of fish obtained per successful catch, making investing in better facilities feel like a worthwhile use of your time. Cool. Chum Bucket. Chum Bucket is an additional facility that can help sustain shoals of fish for longer periods. It holds and spreads bait into the water, which can reduce the rate at which a shoal disperses. In addition to extending shoals' lifespan, spreading bait also increases the number of fish caught. You must be locked in to the Chum Bucket facility in order to use it, which is when you'll see the option to spread bait on the sailing side panel. If an NPC crewmate is assigned on the Chum Bucket, the captain will gain the capability to issue a command to spread bait from anywhere on the boat. Each Chum Bucket will allow you to catch up to 1,000 of each bait type. When 10 pieces of bait, have been successfully fed to a shoal, there is what? I just don't get it. Okay. That was so random. Just putting in a yar in the middle of a sentence. There's a percentage chance that the shoal will not deplete. Oh, pieces of bait. Pieces of 8. I see. Yar. Okay, yeah. Okay, we get it. Thank you, guys. Allowing play. Where did pieces of 8 even come from? What is that? What does that even mean? Like, I know that from RuneScape. Pieces of 8 you need to get the fucking matured Greenman's Ale, but what does that come from? All players participating, is that like money? Is that like a currency? Pieces of 8? Like for Spanish dollar. Is that what it is? Pieces of 8 back in the day. Okay, it's an old currency. I see. Today I learned, boys. Thank you, guys. All players participating in catching from the shoal can contribute bait towards this total. But once bait has been offered, the effect doesn't stack. The spread bait feature will intelligently choose the best available bait for the current shoal. Ooh, a little bit of AI action. Okay. There's a little bit of AI introducing in the Sailing Boys. Prioritizing the highest level bait that meets the shoal's needs. Basic Chum Buckets can only store simple fish cutoffs, while higher tier versions will be able to store a wider range of bait types. I feel like that all could have been like compressed in much fewer words, but whatever. Sonar Orb. The Sonar Orb is another additional facility for your boat, which can help you detect where shoals of fish are using sonar. That's crazy. This facility doesn't require locking in to use. You simply need to click on it. There are currently 2 tiers of Sonar Orb. The first gives a general direction, whereas the second gives you a hint arrow directly over the shoal. If you're too far away from the nearest shoal, neither orb will do anything. Please note that whilst these 3 facilities are explained here, only one of these, trawling net, is required deep sea trawling. There are currently 3 sizes of boats: the raft, small boat, and large boat. Each of these boats have 1, 4, and 8 facility slots, respectively. You will be able to own and customize up to 5 boats, so you can build a dedicated deep sea trawler if you like. Ooh, cool. Here's how the core activity plays out. Find a shoal using your eyes and ears on a sonar orb. Prepare to fish, perhaps by loading your chum bucket with bait, navigate on top of the shoal, deploy the trawling net, and follow those fish. When the shoal disperses or you're ready to stop trawling, interact with the net to loot your catch. Special rules for Iron Man players. God damn it. We got the disclaimer, boys. Oh, shit. What does it say? Iron Men cannot receive fish or cargo from other players. Group Iron Men can share with their group's cargo hold. Okay. Bait and cutoffs. We've often seen the sentiment that low-level skilling supplies have little use once you've leveled past them. It's especially true for fish. There's only so many sardines a person can stomach. Some fish can be cut into cutoffs as a replacement for bait, but bait is so cheap that there's no reason to do so. Aerial fishing implemented a similar system, but it's contained to that one activity. Deep sea trawling will let you use all types of fish as bait. That's genius. Creating progression where you use low-level fish to catch higher-level ones. That's brilliant. To accomplish this and streamline the system, we're removing fish chunks and rolling out 3 types of fish cutoffs: regular, fine, and premium. I want those fine cutoffs, or those fine off cuts. Yeah, give me the premiums. If you already have chunks in your bank, firstly, apologize to your banker. Then don't worry, they'll be converted to appropriate types when sailing launches. Okay, cool. Anyway, Dude, the bankers have to have molten glass stored there and retain its heat indefinitely. There's motherfuckers with hundreds of thousands of fucking piles of molten glass. Jesus Christ. All right, give me some more molten glass. Fucking blow that shit. I did that yesterday. I need help. All right. Yeah, there's rotten fish, fucking burnt fish, molten glass. What else is in there? Rotting seaweed, old boots. Christ, they deal with some shit, man. All right, cool. So here's the regular offcuts. Ooh, the premium fish offcuts aren't even available yet. Wow, these are the fine ones. What are the premiums? Shoals. As you progress into deeper parts of the sea, I'm so embarrassed what I just did. You'll encounter higher tiers of shoals that introduce more complex and rewarding gameplay. But beware, the deeper out at sea you are, the more potential danger to your boat and crew. Team coordination will become super important at these higher levels to successfully catch fish while defending your boat. Oh, God. Your ability to catch fish from shoals scales with your fishing level. So a higher fishing level will allow you to catch them more reliably. The quantity of fish caught improves by upgrading your trawling net facility. To make things more challenging, higher tiers of shoals are able to change their depth. That means that you'll benefit further from having a higher level trawling net, so you can reach further down into the depths of the sea. Occasionally, instead of a standard single fish shoal, players might encounter rare mixed shoals. When a shoal respawns, these shoals, allow players to catch a variety of fish, some of which they might not normally have the level for, but at the reduced catch rates. These rare fish will be tracked on the collection log. Estimated rates are still being finalized, but the goal is roughly 10 hours of dedicated trawling to catch a rare variant of a specific fish. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh yeah, that's just for like, it's kind of like the big shark or the big swordfish or whatever. Cool. Okay, there's a survey. I'm going to have this blog linked down in the description. Also, the Spotify link is down there. But before we end, boys, I want to get some of your guys' thoughts. So if you guys were patiently waiting in the live stream, you guys have any questions, you can leave it down right now. I'm going to just go over a few of my thoughts. First off, I am excited about all of this. I do think the the hybrid training methods, as they're calling it, is actually very good because it's sailing and something else. It's not like you're doing, fishing and hunter. I feel like hybrid methods have kind of gotten a bad rap over time, and for good reason, in my opinion. I think as soon as you start coming out with hybrid methods, you're just diminishing methods. Like you're just combining because if you're gonna have a hybrid method, it needs to be competitive with the meta, and But I think it's cool with sailing. Sailing hybrids seem really interesting. I think that's really cool because currently, the sailing training methods we have currently is like go to like a spot in the middle of the ocean and like 3-tick your fucking boat on repeat and dig up stuff from the sea. That's a sailing method. The other one is obviously Barracuda trials, but these sound much more interesting. The fact that you can train 2 skills at once and get your sailing up simultaneously. The Slayer one seems very exciting. So if you get as soon as those come out and, after sailing drops already, it's going to be so cool to be able to train Slayer and sailing simultaneously or whatever. What were the other hybrid methods they said they were going to release? It was, did I lose it? I think I lost it, boys. Where was this, guys? Where did it say it? Oh, here it is. Fishing sailing, mining sailing, farming sailing, and Slayer. So fishing, mining, and Slayer sailing are going to be the coolest. Mining, really? How's that going to work? Mineral dredging, okay. So, yeah, I'm excited about all this, honestly. As I said in the beginning, sailing, I think the alpha underwhelmed me a bit. I've talked with the J-Mods on Sae Bae casts, and they've been pretty... they've been able to calm my fears of it releasing. And I think now that we're seeing, like, genuine exploration, islands, things that really don't have much to do with sailing, but they're going to come with sailing. That's the exciting stuff, in my opinion. And I think these hybrid training methods are going to really seal the deal. I don't think that people want to go out into the sea and 3-tick or AFK a random spot in the water and then go clean the shit for however many hundreds of hours, or do Barracuda trials repeatedly. Maybe that'll be fun. Who knows? But it's cool having these hybrid methods. I think this is absolutely awesome. Great decision. And I'm excited to see. Hopefully the other hybrid methods, not just the fishing one, come out relatively soon after the release of sailing. So what about cooking? Yeah, where's the cooking sailing at? Yeah, exactly. Where does Fasani come into? Yeah, where's Fasani's sailing at? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you all tuning into this ramble. Again, as I stated 3 times already, go check out the show on Spotify. Drop it a follow, drop it a rating. Help me grow that over there. I would greatly appreciate you guys' help over there. Thank you all for listening, as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next ramble. Peace.